Good morning, fellow doctors. Um, Zephania Tony, a student of PhD of Philosophy in Organization Management and Leadership. I am working with Kungusa Moyo organization as a director and a founder, and working with Nokia Group Companies Limited as a director and a CEO. I have a master's degree in philosophy and leadership, and I'm here to present to you my question, and I'm honored to be here with you. Our first question is to define comprehensively the term top executive leadership and the general responsibility of a top executive officer at different levels of leadership in an organization. This is a wider thing. It is so wide, but I started with a quotation that says, "There is no school for executive leaders except the school of experience. Chief executives must learn on the job how to lead a company, and they must learn why every stakeholder is watching." The CEO of Benz, Edzard Luther, said, "There will always be points where the environment change, the competition change, and something critical changes. And you must realize this and take the leading role in the meeting change." And this will be my introduction. As you would expect, top-level managers or top managers are the bosses of the organization. They have titles as Chief Executive Officer, Chief Operation Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, among others. A new executive position known as the Chief Compliance Officer is now showing up on most charts or in most organizations because of the requirement from the government that these companies should comply to the rules and procedures of the company and of the government. Top executive leadership is the ability to communicate the vision and inspire the people to embrace the vision of the organization. Being a top person in the organization, you have to inspire people to carry on this vision. You have to embrace the vision. You have to own the vision of the organization. And another thought of definition is top executive leadership is a group of the highest ranking officers in a company whose primary responsibilities include making major corporate decisions, managing the overall operations and resources of the company, acting as the main point of communication between the board of directors and the corporate operations, and being the public face of the company. Top executive leadership is the ability of an organization's management to guide and motivate employees while meeting the organization goals. So this means that the law or the definition of a top executive leader is to make sure that the company is reaching its goal. Top executive leadership is the ability of those who manage or direct employees in organizations to influence and guide these individuals. Those leading executive leadership process typically oversees such business activities as fulfilling organizational goals, strategic planning involvement, and overall decision making. Leadership is the ability to elicit extraordinary performance from ordinary people. Leadership is the ability to get followers. This was by Brian Tracy. There is a need for leaders in our society. There is a need for leaders in our homes, in our organizations, in our private and public associations, and in our government. We need leadership more than ever before, and especially we need leadership to take us into the future. We need people who have vision and courage, people who have the ability to chart new seas and break new grounds. This was Brian Tracy. According to Brian Tracy, we need two types of leaders. The first type is the important or the foundation, the structural leader. The transactional leader is the person who gets things done through others. The second type of leader that we need is the transformational leader. This is the leader who is the path maker. This is the leader who is the visionary. This is the leader who motivates, uplifts, inspires, and empowers people to perform at levels far beyond anything they have ever done before. And most of these leaders have our characteristics. High-level managers tend to have a substantial amount of experience, ideally across a wide variety of functions. Many high-level managers become part of an executive team by mastering their functional disciplines across various roles. Becoming the Chief Operation Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Technology Officer, among others, takes someone to have a wider knowledge on a number of things. Top management teams are also often industry experts, have a close association with the long-term trajectory of the business they operate in. They often benefit from the charismatic, powerful communicators with a strong sense of accountability, confidence, integrity, and comfortable with risks. Top-level management responsibilities are as follows. The executive leadership job is like no other in our organization. It is infinite. Senior executives are by definition ultimately responsible for every decision and action of every member of the company, including those decisions and actions of which they may not even be aware. I wanted to quote something. Surprisingly, research shows that between 35 and 50% of the chief executives are replaced within 5 years. That is a costly proposition for an organization, for no company can lose its leaders without losing some sense, even temporarily, of its identity and direction. Whatever the approach, then the executive leadership role is to act decisively and boldly at demand of higher level leadership taught only by the on-job training. My first point is leadership and interpersonal roles. Top managers are often required to fulfill what Mitzberg describes as figurehead activities. They are the public face of the management team and represent the business in legal, economic, and social forums. A leadership approach is coherent, explicit style of management, not a reflection of personal style. This is critical distinction. I have found that in effective companies, executive leaders do not simply adopt the leadership approach that suits their personalities, but instead adopt the approach that will best meet the needs of the organization and the business situation at hand. So most of the questions they have to handle is the industry growing expressively, or is it mature? How many competitors exist? And how strong are they? Does technology matter? If so, where is it going? What are the organization's capital and human assets? What constitutes sustainable competitive advantage? And how